A little bouncy pop music every now and then is a good reprieve from the constant screaming and banging in my ears, so let's sit down and vibe for a bit. Welcome to Rena Does Music, where today I have a commission from my close friend Anna in the form of the second album from indie outfit Weathers called Pillows and Therapy. These guys jump on the hyped up alt-pop train and keep riding that son of a bitch through to the sunset with their music, somewhere in between Plastic Beach era Gorillaz and Alec Benjamin's general instrumental beats. I feel like this album not only keeps a good pacing, but stands as a wonderful example of how modern pop music is settling into a new normal and has been for the better part of a decade now that is just generally good pop music again. So let's talk about it. Right off the bat, I want to talk about In Love With Myself, a very distorted piece that focuses on an almost endearing form of self-degradation. The lyrics and perhaps overall message here is self-love in almost cocky forms, with lines referring to himself as a king or a queen, a freak and a fraud, but there's a perhaps unintended element of self-hate within these phrases where it feels like the song is meant to be an inverted version of itself, if that makes any sense. He hates himself, he loves himself, he knows he's a bitch, he knows he's God. It's kind of me on a morning basis. Although I could be way off the mark here, but I feel like this is a song hyping himself up as well as dressing himself down with some very interesting background noise that hops between amplified waves and usual pop beats. I think there's a general cocky energy all over this record, really, with intro track Hello feeling like a defiant piece. Don't record reviews late at night. Feeling like a defiant piece overall. Saying, hey, yeah, I'm not in the best spot mentally, but fuck it, fuck you, how are you? 1 second he's saying hello, and then the very next he's asking if home is home, and it's a manic sensibility that lead singer Cameron Boyson plays off with all the ease in the world. And let's talk about anxiety. It's all over Pillows and Therapy, and I imagine because of the theme and title of the album, and the themes that American Dream hits on, this is intended and it's also executed in great form. In the second verse of American Dream, he talks about being so confused by the red, white, and blue, be it America, in what I assume is general confusion for America as a whole, and the sheer fucked up state of, boy, if we only knew what would happen in the next year. Like, if only he knew how much worse things got. The red, white, and blue is getting worse day by day. The song overall feels like a sort of conversation with the mirror, trying to reason and figure out a reason for the way he feels, ultimately to no avail and no real result beyond that feeling of a disconnected, yeah, shit's fucked. The entire album feels like a roller coaster when you're riding it or listening to the album in tracklist order. But when you look back on it, you realize that the journey was generally the same. Not in a bad way, but not really in a great way. You might notice this review's length here, and that's because this is one of those albums that's sort of similarly in a sense that I did with Veil of Maya's album False Idol back in the day. There's not a lot to say about this album with how I'm currently viewing it and how I'm currently writing about it. Maybe that's down to my inability to be a decent reviewer, but this kind of falls into a situation where there's a couple good talking points. Those are the talking points that I talked about just now. Talking point, talk, yes. And beyond that, there's not really a whole lot to say and conversate about without just repeating myself. It's good, there's just not many more points to talk about outside of these elements. The thing about consistency is that it's hard to get right, but Weathers is a band that tackles that task with ease by telling a story in 10 parts and 10 songs, keeps the momentum on an even plane, but like I said, there's not much you can do with a concept that you're just thoroughly doing well. Even with obvious tone switches, like from the penultimate song Losing Blood to closer C'est La Vie, it's clear to see that the intentions behind the music here is to make a consistent listening experience that feels akin to a movie, and it's very consistent. Without a doubt, this album did immediately enter into the category of one of my faves, and I'll be revisiting it often. But it does have a sensibility of, hey, this is it. So for those reasons, Weathers' album, Pillows and Therapy, gets a 7.8 out of 10. And that's the review. Let me know what you guys think down in the comment section below. If you guys are one of my subscribers or somebody that's coming back to my videos kind of often, what do you think about the longer reviews versus the shorter reviews? Do you prefer the short ones so you can get in and out and get your content, or do you prefer longer ones where I talk and ramble on more and more? Be honest, let me know down in the comment section below. Hope you're having a good day. Hope you're staying hydrated. I'll see you next time.